Hi, guys, and welcome back to Between the Set. I'm your host, Coach Lakeisha, and today we're getting into something foundational positions, all of them. Because whether you're a new player figuring out where you fit, a parent trying to understand the game, or a veteran who wants to hear it broken down in a real way, this one's for you. Here's what I want you to get out of today's episode. Every position on this court matters, every single one of them. There's no glamour position, no throwaway role, and the sooner you understand what your position demands of you mentally, physically, technically, the sooner you can actually own it. Let's get into it. First position we're going to talk about today is an outside hitter. With the outside hitter, because this is typically the first position people picture when they think volleyball. You're on the left side. You're usually the go-to arm. When the play breaks down and the setter has to dump the ball to you, you handle it. Outside hitters touch the ball more than almost anyone else on the court. That means your serve receive has to be solid. Your passing under pressure has to be reliable. You can't just be a hitter, you have to be a complete player, a whole, all around the court player, six rotational player. What separates the great outsides from the good ones? Consistency. It's not about highlight kill, it's about your kill percentage over the course of a long match. In the fifth set, when the crowd is loud and the margin is thin, can you still be the player your setter trusts? Mentally, outside hitters have to be tough. You're going to get stuff blocked. You're going to have bad sets. You're going to face double blocks all night. How do you respond when your first option isn't there? That's the question coaches are watching for. The best outside hitters, in my opinion, make their setter's job easy by being where they're supposed to be every single time. Transition to the net. Transition to the net. The opposite hitter, sometimes called the right side, let's talk about that hitter. That hitter is one of the most evolved positions in modern volleyball. You play opposite the setter. In a 6-2 system, you'll be running serve receive. In a 5-1, you're often the player who covers the right side when the setter is front row. So, yes, that means you'll be right side defense. Opposites tend to be bigger, powerful attackers. You'll see a lot of back row opportunities, the pipe, the D, the B, and you need to be a weapon from there. But increasingly, right side players are also critical for blocking, going up against the other team's outside hitter on every rotation. That's a huge responsibility, a big one, and you just have to be ready for it. The thing I always say about the opposite position, it requires a player who doesn't need the spotlight to stay locked in. You might go several rotations without touching the ball on offense, and then suddenly the setter sets you back row on match point. Are you ready? Did you stay engaged? Are you locked in? The opposite, who is always ready, even when they're not the first option, is worth everything to a program. Yes, that means you would have double the ammunition in the front row. The setter is the quarterback of the volleyball team. Let's talk about that position. Every single play runs through you, the setter. You're touching the ball on most possessions. You're making split-second decisions. You're managing egos. You're reading blocks. You're managing hitters' confidence, all in real time. Yes, setters do all of these things. The technical skill required is massive. Footwork, hand positioning, consistency, tempo, your release points, getting set. But the mental game is what truly separates setters. You have to be analytical and calm under pressure at the same time. You have to know that your middle had a tough serve, receive, and needs a touch to get her confidence back. You have to know that the opponent's left side block is cheating and exploit it. That's being able to read the block. If you are a setter, you are never off. You're never off the clock. You're watching film when your teammates are relaxing. You're studying tendencies. You're thinking 2 plays ahead of what you're going to run and who's going to run it. And here's the thing about setter development. that I think it's overlooked. It takes longer than most positions. You might not fully arrive at your potential until your junior or senior year or even later. So if you're a young setter who feels behind, stay the course, stay locked in. The ceiling is worth the climb. Great setters make everyone around them better. Always remember that. That's their whole job. Middle blocker. Let's talk about that. This position is underappreciated, and I will say that every single time, and I agree with it. You have to be the anchor of your block. You're closing the outside. You're taking away the right side. You're reading the setter's eyes. You're communicating with your outsides, all while running a first step offense that happens in fractions of a second. That's just volleyball IQ, reading the plays, running fast tempos. Middles run the fastest tempos in the game. A good one ball set is up and gone before most people even know it was set. That requires trust between the setter and the middle. That is built through hundreds of reps, through communication, through being on the same page, even when the game is in chaos. When they can get that one, whew, game changer. What kills a middle's effectiveness? Slow footwork and hesitation. If you're a step late to the block, it doesn't matter how good your hands are. If you are hesitant on a quick set, you're not hitting it. This position is all about decisiveness and athleticism working together. Now let's talk about the libero and defensive specialist, which we call the DS or the libero. And by extension, the defensive specialist. I want to give this position the respect it deserves because some players look at the libero role and see a limitation. I see it as one of the most demanding positions on the court. The libero touches the ball constantly. Your passing platform has to be technically sound in every situation. Off hard driven serves, off tips, off swings that look one way and go another, off dumps. You're the last line of defense. When the ball drops on your side, everyone felt it. Mentally, the libero has to have an extremely short memory. You're going to miss pass. You're going to get beat. And then the very next ball is going to come right back to you. Can you reset? Can you let it go and compete? That's what makes a good libero. Liberos are also the pulse of the back row communication. You're calling serves, you're directing traffic, you're keeping your passers composed when they're off. That's a leadership role, even if you're not a captain. But most of the time, liberos are captains on the court. And defensive specialists, who we call DS, I see you too. You come in and you change the dynamic of the rotation. That pressure of coming off the bench and immediately performing is real. The ability to be ready at any moment to contribute in a short window is a skill in itself. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. A great libero changes a team's defensive identity. They are worth investing in every time. Every position on this court has a culture. Every position has a skill set and a mental demand that is unique to it. The best teams are built when every player truly understands their role and commits to mastering it, not envying someone else's. You don't need to be the setter to be the most important player on the court. You don't need to be an outside hitter to be the player your team can't win without. No, you don't need to be that. Just be you, know your position, own your role, and then go be the best version of that role your team has ever seen. If this was helpful, share it with a young player or a parent who's trying to understand the game. And if you want me to do a deeper dive on any individual position, drop it in the comments or shoot me a message. I'm always down to go deeper on subjects like this. Until next time, this is Between the Set. Stay blessed, keep competing, keep learning, keep showing up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.